So I've learned a few things in the last few days about making levels, three-dimensional levels out of just two-dimensional drawings. And I wanted to show you what I've learned. Some of this has already been gone over in the other videos, but I've refined quite a bit of it. You can end up with something like this. Pretty easily. So for starters, let's go back to Pixelmator and make a new drawing. Okay, I'm going to save this as face mask, or just mask, and then I'm going to export it to a PNG. I'm going to go to this convert to SVG and choose the file, convert file, and it'll download for me. Then in Blender I just made a mask.blend, and I'm going to delete the standard cube and the camera and the lamp. Then I'm going to import the SVG. As before, you have to zoom in on it a lot to even see it. There it is. So I'm going to join all those together and then extrude them 4 and then save. Now, something I learned is I'm going to go back to the Pixelmator level, because if I can invert this, and there's probably a way in Pixelmator, but I don't know what it is. If I can invert the colors, I can do something substantially useful. So I go to Fiji and open my PNG, and then invert, save as. That's converted. And now that I've got that, I can just do the exact same pipeline with that inverted image. Now in Unity, I'm going to open one of the scenes that I already had working and then save it as a new scene. And let's get rid of the level in this one. And then grab the models. So I've got a mask.blend and a mask inverted.blend. Let's drag the mask in first. Take a look at it. Okay, it's pretty small. 1000 maybe. Let's see if that's about right. That's probably about right, judging from where I placed these other little tiny enemies before. I did figure out something important, that if your nav mesh isn't generating properly baking onto your meshes, it may be because your meshes are just way too small. And in one of the cases, I had scaled it up, but not nearly enough, and that was the problem. Let's put that at 0, and let's drag my material onto it. And then here it gets a bit tricky. What I want to do, instead of doing all that mumbo jumbo with making a background nav mesh, there were some disadvantages. Specifically, when I wanted to do some auto generation of things, I wanted to do them just on the nav mesh that was showing. And I think you saw before in that other video, it was putting a nav mesh on top of other objects, and I wasn't able to change that to any other type of nav mesh so that I could filter those out. There's probably a bug in Unity in there somewhere, and I haven't figured out exactly where, but I've worked around it. And the reason I can work around it is because of this thing we did in Fiji by flipping it around. I'm going to make that mesh into the nav mesh. So back in Unity, mask inverted rotator. And let's put that at, reset the position of that. This one's already reset. And drag the mask inverted model into that. Make it the same scale. If we say 0, well, that looks right. It's probably all the same size. It fits in perfect. But now we just need to figure out the angles to use to get it to create the mesh, the nav mesh properly. So surface. Add the nav mesh surface to this. Collect only children objects, which means it's not going to collect anything but this. And then if I hit bake, it's probably going to put it on the top. We can't see it from here. I'm going to move it out by 5 so that we can see it. -5. Okay, so where did it put the nav mesh? Let's figure this out. Maybe it needs to be that. Yeah. Okay, so now I put it on the top, but I want it on the front. I want it on this face, on this side. So to do that, I believe if I lay this down like this, what did that do? Kind of moved it up. And let's see if I bake now. I didn't do anything. So let's do 0. Let's make this one 90. Okay, yeah. And then bake that. There we go. And then rotate this one -90 to offset that. Clear, bake. Good. Still worked on that face. Just move it back. Let's go back to 0. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So now, bake again. Now it's in there. It's perfectly flush with that other mesh. I don't want it to be totally flush, so I'm going to move it back 2. And no, that's not enough. Let's see. 4, 3, 4, maybe 4. Let's try that. And now it's just a matter of lining it up so that your enemies are in the right places. Okay, now I've got them all in the right places. Now I need to add the collider, mesh collider, to the mask itself and make sure my player's in the right place. So I can see that, oh, I definitely want to make this clear or transparent. So for now, so I can still see it, I can make it lightly transparent. I've got a completely transparent one here. The only difference is the fade or transparent rendering mode. Transparent's like glass, fades like actually out. So let's see what it does when I hit go. Okay, ball's rolling. Those are following me around and bumping into me. Yeah. Good, so it's working now. So that's a pretty darn easy way to make levels. And I used the inverse of the actual level creation to generate the nav mesh. And that lets me do a lot more than I could do before. Oh, not that way. I was trying to distribute things evenly across the nav mesh and it just wasn't working. But that worked. So thanks for watching. If you like stuff like this, hit subscribe. And if you like this particular video, hit that thumbs up. And one way or the other, I hope you have fun with all your experiments.